go. Reload. Everywhere. There we go. Okay. Oh. Merry Christmas. Alrighty. What's going on? Let some people get in here and then we'll start. Bum, bum. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Emmanuel. All right. We got some things to talk about. Oh, did they take away this warning? Okay, yeah, because we had a severe, check this out. Check out what we had out in California today. Mesoscale discussion. Look at this. Look at this mesoscale discussion. Most probable peak tornado intensity up to 95 miles per hour. Most probable peak wind gusts 55 to 70 miles per hour. We did have a tornado warning. Look at that. Southwest of San Jose, northwest of Santa Cruz. Where are we out here? Southwest of Redwood City. So pretty crazy out there in California. We got flooding issues everywhere, as you can see. Looks like the worst of it right now is actually to the northwest of Los Angeles, which is good. I mean, just because, based on population density. So, but we got a snowstorm to talk about. And we got a snowstorm to talk about. In the Northeast. Yeah, EF1 potential, not bad. What level of atmospheric river was this? Honestly, I don't know. There's atmospheric rivers that last a lot. Atmospheric rivers are weird because like some can be much more intense than others, but they don't last as long. What did they rank this? I don't even know. I think meteorologists rank the atmospheric rivers. Does the CPC actually give, or not CPC? Does NOAA actually rank, or the National Weather Service actually rank the atmospheric river themselves? It's pretty intense, but it's short-lived. This atmospheric river is like a 72-hour event, whereas some of your Pacific Northwest atmospheric rivers last for like 10 days straight. But the amount of moisture or precipitation that's falling in this short 48 to 72 hours is crazy. Merry Christmas, Nate. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you're having good holidays. Marissa Morgan, I appreciate you guys. House Snow looking for Hartford, Connecticut. We're going to get into that in just a second. I just started streaming 4 minutes ago. So we're just give 1 more minute. People get in here. We're going to go over everything, and I'll answer you guys' questions. I got a new sweater for Christmas. Look at that. That's cool. We got the Olympics coming up. Then we've got World Cup in the States. That's a cool sweater to have. Freezing rain looks like tonight for Wisconsin. Potentially, yeah. Okay, so we'll get into this. I got 25 seconds, and we're going to get into everything, and I'll answer all your questions. Yep, we're going over highlights. And then we are taking questions. How's anything changed with the snow accumulation expected for West Long Island? Not much. Not much. Western Long Island still in that 6 to 7, 5 to 8 range right in there. So we're going to go over that. The light makes me look more high def, but then I don't get the cool colors in the background. What do you guys think? Light or no light? Because I have a 4K camera on it. When the light's on, if it's too dark, then you can't actually use 4K. Light. It does make me more high definition. Can we look at Alaska? We can look at Alaska in a second. Let me go. Okay, let's go over this. Someone said no light. It is bright in my eyes. All right. Let's get into this. Let's take a look at the latest with this storm first. We're going to start off in the Northeast. We're going to move over to California. We're going to go over our New Year's Eve forecast, and I'll take a look at Alaska here in a second as well. Let's move over to the Northeast. No light. All right, fine. We're going back here. There we go. So here's the latest. You notice the Euro, lots of ice. Hey, Eli, appreciate the sub over on YouTube. I appreciate you. Colors, yeah. Merry Christmas, Purple. All right. Hello from across the stream, Marissa and Morgan. Emmanuel says from the other stream. Yeah. Here we go. Here's the latest Euro. Now, let's take a look at this. I want to just talk about Philly first, and we'll just go right into our sounding. Is this going to be all ice and no snow? I don't think so for Philly, but let's take a look here really quickly. Again, I will get to all your questions here in a second. Pennsylvania. We'll go to Philly International Airport. Here we go. As the snow starts falling tomorrow. Oof. Right here, right? This is right when around the time you could get some snow falling as we get into late afternoon. Snow starts falling, and initially, we're still freezing. So, initial snow. But watch this. Look at that. That's freezing rain and sleet for a couple hours there, potentially, as we get overnight into Friday, Saturday. But then it gets colder again, and we transition potentially back into pure snow. So it looks like snow, ice and sleet, back to snow, then into freezing rain, back to snow, and then we're done. It's going to be back and forth. The issue is your mid layers, 900 to 700 millibars here, are going to be fluctuating between freezing and not freezing. It's going to really mess with your snow. Again, if this can just stay below, the freezing line, which it's close, you'll be pretty good. Again, New York, I'm not too concerned about you guys having all snow. Pretty sure you guys will be 99% snow. Manhattan downtown, let's just go to New York City. Do we get above the freezing line here at all? None. It's all snow. It's all snow. It's going to be the same for Long Island likely as well, but I'll push out to Long Island as well. Let's just look at Long Island, LaGuardia Airport. We'll just look from there. All snow. Long Island, MacArthur Airport. All snow. Anyways, I want to show you guys this probabilistic portal. Here's the latest from the National Weather Service. All right. So we're talking right now an inch or two in Philly. Still, National Weather Service is thinking. New York City, 6 to 8 inches. Well, most of Long Island, 5 to 8 inches of snow. Hudson Valley could see areas locally, potentially all the way up to 9, 10 inches of snow. Bridgeport, look at that. Western Connecticut, 5 to 8 inches. Eastern Connecticut, 1 to 3, 1 to 4 on the eastern side. Allentown, not bad, 3 inches. Scranton, 3.5. Binghamton, 5.5, 6. Syracuse, 6.5. Rochester, 4.5. Albany, 5 inches. This is the expected amount. Could be higher than this, and it will be higher than this in some places. Yeah, Philadelphia right now thinking 1.5 inches. Again, we'll have to see. It really depends how long you guys stay in that sleet, freezing rain area. Philadelphia on the high end, there's National Weather Service is still giving you a chance for 3 to 4 inches of snow on the high end. So, but on the high end, it looks wild in New York City and Long Island. The high end, we're talking about 9+ inches. 6 to 10 inches. 6 to 10 inches. But New York City, Western Long Island, we're talking about potentially 9+ inches in the high end easily. Really good snow here. Yeah. Hey, I talked to you guys about finally getting back to your averages, having an above average snowfall this winter. I like this for New York City, Long Island. It's good for you. I still think Philadelphia, we're going to see an above average snow winter. So if you don't get that much snow from this system, we have some good opportunities. Negative NAO setups in January. So I'm still very confident in Philly this year. Bo, wait, what? I appreciate you. But anyways, looks pretty good here, right? Guys, if you're in the light blues, just so you guys can see better, if you're like in this section here, we're talking about 1 to 3. Same with up here, 1 to 3. You get into here, we're talking about 3 to 6. Then we get into here, we're talking about 6 inches to a foot, depending on where you are and how we band. That does include New York City and Long Island. That's the latest there. All right, and I do want to get to questions, so let me cover one more thing. That's going to move out. The issue is here, you want to get a lot of snow with this, because that's going to move out, and then you're going to warm up for 24 to 48 hours and get a ton of rainfall. It's going to try to ruin your snow. Now, the warm-up is pretty quick. It's pretty quick. If we look at the temperature anomalies, ready right here. So as you get into Monday morning, you start to warm up, and you're pretty warm through Tuesday morning. So it's about a 24-hour time frame where you guys could get up to, let's go really quickly and look out there. You guys could get pretty warm. We're talking about high 40s, low 50s. There's going to be snow melt, but it's 24 hours. So it may move quick enough to where it's done. I think it will move quick enough. It's not going to melt all the snow that fell. It's going to melt some of it. And right behind it's a bunch more cold air to let that snow stick around, likely through New Year's Eve. I think, especially New York City and Long Island, you don't lose all that snow. You don't lose all that snow because of a 24-hour warm-up. I think you got snow on the ground in the city and on Long Island, portions of eastern PA, central to northern Jersey, Connecticut. I think you guys all have snow on the ground for New Year's Eve. All right, almost the questions. This, by the way, next Monday, Tuesday, tons of lake effect snow. Tons of snow into northern Ohio. Tons of snow into western PA, probably into Pittsburgh. Not tons into Pittsburgh, but good snow into Pittsburgh. Lots of snow for upstate New York. Lots of snow for inner New England. Freezing air here. And then notice what happens here. Now, this is the end of the 18Z Euro. But right here, we're midday. We are midday on New Year's Eve. Lots of snow that's aiming towards Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Minneapolis, portions of eastern Iowa.
A new
severe thunderstorm warning
has been issued.
Santa Clara, California, and around that region. Okay, we got a severe thunderstorm warning out there. Let me double check on that real quick for you guys. Let me double check on that. Don't worry, I'm getting to your questions. Double check on that. Let's move my stuff around. There it is. Okay, really quickly, just so you guys know. All right, severe thunderstorm warning. Monterey. Right here. Salinas, Ferndale, Monterey. Likely just strong winds. Potential for some hail. I don't see it. I don't think we have any tornado chance in here. Let me just double check for you guys though. Let's go into radar real quick. 1 second, guys. I just want to make sure we're good here. Why isn't this switching to velocity? Why isn't this switching to velocity radar? Did they just switch the controls? There it is. There's no circulation in here. I think we're fine. I don't see. Yeah, I think we're fine. All right. Anyways, let's finish this up. There is a chance that this snow falls a little bit. This precipitation speeds up a little bit, and you do get a little bit of snow here, upper Midwest into Chicago, Minneapolis. There's a chance. There's a chance you get a little snow there, and maybe we're snowing in upstate New York on New Year's Eve night. Here's the latest GFS for New Year's Eve, just so you know. Just so you know. New Year's Eve, there you go. I'm speeding through this so I can answer your questions. New Year's Eve at midnight. Here's the latest GFS. Again, chance for snow up here. We'll see if it's a little bit quicker. Lots of cold air out east. You want to know what the temperatures look like on New Year's Eve? We're cold. Here is midnight on New Year's Eve. Everyone out here is 5 to 20 degrees below average. Even in here, you're about average. These light oranges are nothing. Really, it's average to below average. Everyone out here. Cold. Very cold. If you were to zoom in, and I talked about this in my video I just posted, but if you were to zoom in, there you go. Here's our temperatures. What the GFS thinks New Year's Eve night. New York City could be pretty cold. Low 20s, high teens. Boston, cold, high teens. Charlotte, around freezing. Florida, look at Florida. Tampa, 45 degrees. This isn't wind chill, by the way. This is not wind chill. Atlanta could be around freezing. Chicago, high teens. You know, Minneapolis, 12 degrees. Nashville, 38. We're cold. This is all 40s and below. This is a cold New Year's Eve for the East. Not very much for the West. Mountains, of course, are going to be cold. Here's New Year's Eve for the West. This is actually pretty cool for the West. Pretty warm down there in southern Arizona. This actually isn't too bad. Still above average, though, for a lot of people out here. All right, and last but not least, obviously we know what's going on. Out west. This flooding will or all this precipitation will let up as we get into this weekend, and cold air goes out east. We dry out in a big way Monday, Tuesday, next week out west. Then another storm system, almost like a tropical system. Look at this. We have like a 997. I almost want to call it a hurricane. It's what it looks like on here, but I think it's just a strong low. Almost looks like a tropical system slamming into the coast. It's going to be subtropical regardless by the time it gets to Cali, but more snow and more low elevation snow and or high elevation snow and rain out west. So tons of moisture out there. And by the way, as we get late first week and into the second week of January, like I said, polar jet begins to collapse and snow is possible. New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Carolinas, Alabama, Louisiana. I would say Alabama, northern Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. Just watch out there. Look at this major collapse of cold air. Major collapse of cold air, okay? We're in our 20s down here. We're in our 20s. Actual temperature down here. If you get a nice little baroclinic, or if we get this type of baroclinic zone, and you have a lot of moisture to feed off the Gulf, watch for the chance for southern snow late first week of January, early second week. I'm telling you. Or just through the second week. I'm telling you. All right, what's going on, guys? Talk to me. What questions do we have? I love you too, son. I love you. The only thing I want for Christmas, chat, for everyone in here, the only thing I want for Christmas is for you guys to go follow Mesomatt. Mesomatt. This guy right here. I'm going to pin him. Because he's one of my best friends, and he's does exactly what I do. And he's really motivated. Good guy, knows what he's talking about. That's all I want. Don't give me. Just go follow Mezzo. He's awesome. All right. Morgan, Bo. Wait, what? Jasmine. Sprinkler, I appreciate you. B, what's going on? Day Fried. What's popping? You guys are awesome. Any snow for Philly tomorrow? We're thinking so. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Let's go back. Right now, expected amount in Philly, 1.5 to 2 inches of accumulation. There is going to be at least 2 periods of time. Love you, Matt. There's going to be at least 2 periods of time where it's purely snow falling in Philadelphia. Not ice, not sleet. It looks like we're going to start as snow, move over to sleet, move back into snow, and then maybe get some freezing rain. But we've been taking a look, and we just looked at our sounding again for Philadelphia. I was just looking at the sounding. There's going to be a period of time where it's just snow. Let's look at the sounding real quick. Philadelphia, I'll show you again. So how heavy is that snow falling when it's just snow? Because that's going to be your accumulation. Looking back at Pennsylvania, we'll just go to the Philly airport, Philly International Airport. Okay, right when it starts snowing, right here. Here's when it starts snowing in Philly. 22Z, 4 p.m. potentially, as early as 4 p.m. We're probably starting to get snow into Philly. This is snow. This is just snow on the front end. You see this is our SKU-T chart. This is our freezing line. Everything. Our dew point meets our temperature. Our air saturated, begins to snow, and it is south of the freezing line. Then we start to get sleet. Maybe even freezing rain here. Freezing rain. Because you're warm. You're above freezing here. And then it hits the surface, and you're below freezing. Right? You're below freezing at the surface. Freezing rain right there. You move forward a little bit, though. Boom. Whoa, what just happened? Now suddenly it's 8 p.m., and now between the hours of 4 to 8 p.m., we went from snow to freezing rain to snow again. This would be heavy, heavy snow, 1 inch an hour snow. But you might only get an hour of it. Heavy snow, it's all below freezing. It's really close. And then look, boom, right there, you start to get sleet. This is sleet. This isn't freezing rain. Notice at the surface, we're above freezing. So this is sleet. So snow, sleet, freezing rain, all within a 6-hour span. It's a mess. But there is the potential for above average accumulation. There's a potential for 4 inches of accumulation if you can just stay below the dang freezing line for a little bit longer in Pennsylvania or in Philly. But I'm still thinking I think 1.5 inches isn't a bad bet by the National Weather Service. Got a winter weather advisory for freezing rain in central Wisconsin tonight. Oh, yeah, I forgot we want to talk about that, and I said I'd talk about Alaska, too, real quick. Let's take a look. Now we have our short-range models in. Let's look at the HRRR for this, then I'll take a quick look at what's going on in Alaska. Wisconsin. Totally forgot we had our short-range models here. HRRR has been a little off this year, I'm not even going to lie, so I don't even like looking at that much. But here we go. Freezing rain. Far north Wisconsin. What's our temperatures here, actually? Surface temperatures. Yeah. And then if you look at our upper air temperatures, let's look at our 925 millibar temperatures. You could get freezing rain farther south than what they think. Is this Celsius? This is Celsius. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. Celsius. Okay, yeah, you're good. You're like at 40 degrees here. 925, right above our heads, right above our surface. Yeah, I think the freezing rain is going to stay pretty far north. Where does the... Let's go to winter weather. Freezing rain total. There you go on the HRRR. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. What's the NAM think? NAM 3K. Not, I mean, it's not good, but none of this even gets up to a quarter inch. 0.15. Not going to hurt anyone. Localized, you could have more. But this isn't a major ice storm now. Michigan, on the other hand, you can see we've got some areas trying to reach up 0.25 to half an inch of ice. Look at that. Ooh, Michigan could see issues there. And then let's go over to Pennsylvania. This is an issue too with ice. Notice not seeing that much ice though. Southeastern, really, this is heavy ice out here. Ice storm, power outages, trees down. Be prepared. Have extra batteries. Have extra gas if your house is gas heated. Have a radio. If you don't have a good power grid, power goes out. You can't get anywhere on the roads. Ice storms can be dangerous, guys. Really quick, I told someone I'd take a look up what's going on in Alaska. What's going on in Alaska? What's going on in Alaska, guys? Here we go. Nice storm system moving into southeast, really southern Alaska. Look at that. That's going to be a ton of snow. What's our snow totals up here over the next 48 hours? Look at that. Big snow totals down here over the next 48 hours. This is 60 hours, but whatever. This is on the NAM 3K. Big snow totals down here. Feet of snow. Feet of snow. Southern Alaska. This is probably really cold too. What are our temperature anomalies looking like over the next 48 hours? Up here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the actual temperature. We're negative. What's our anomalies? I can't see temperature anomalies up here. Let's just go to the Euro. Temperature anomalies up here. Yeah, you have areas that are going to be pushing into 15 to 25 degrees below average over the next few days. Cold. All right. Back to the states. I mean, Alaska is the states, you know, the continental states, contiguous. Can you look at Oklahoma? Any precip? Sure. Let's look at that real quick. Dry. There's a chance you get a little bit of rain or even back-end snow here in Oklahoma. It's not going to be much precipitation, but you can see we've got a little bit of a winter battleground zone going on in here. So something there. Watch out Sunday night into Monday morning. You could get a little bit of something there. Eastern Oklahoma, you could even get a tiny little bit of a severe threat there. Sunday night into Monday morning. That's the only precip we see in really over the next 7 days. Snow in Denver this weekend. Yeah, I mean the European wants to put a little bit of snow into Denver this weekend. I saw someone ask about New Hampshire. I'll do that next. Let's take a look into Colorado. Not bad. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Can we see? No, precipitation type. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, show me my snow totals. Total snowfall. Kuchera. Let's go to Denver. Oh, nope. We got to go back. We don't want this one. Sorry. We don't want this. We want 00Z. Thank you very much. All right. HRRR doesn't see this getting east of the mountains. Does the NAM? That's not going to show me on here. The HRRR, I mean, this looks to me like you could get a little bit of snow down in Denver, a couple inches. Let's look at the NAM 3K here. Because we're seeing some low elevation snow show up on the models. It's going to be cold enough. It just depends how much, makes it over the mountains. There's not a ton of precipitation here. Is the problem. There's not a ton of moisture in the air. What about Plainfield and Trenton, New Jersey, in northern Jersey? And someone asked about New Hampshire. Let's go out to the northeast again. The NAM is so brutal. Don't worry about the NAM. The NAM is brutal. I think there's a very small chance we get no snow in here. I wouldn't look at that at all. I'd look at the national blend, which is a little bit it's also going to be tight. But central to northern Jersey, again, not looking too bad. I've been showing this multiple times, but central to northern Jersey, I'll show you guys again. A lot of people keep asking about the same thing. Central to northern Jersey, the expected amount of snow right now is somewhere between 3 to 8 inches. The farther north you get, the higher chance you get of getting this 8 to 9 inches of snow. Still seeing about 3 to 4 central Jersey. New Hampshire right now, not seeing... Oops. I just got lost for a second. I don't know. Like, look at this snow line. But New Hampshire, there's another storm right behind this that's probably going to give you good snow. I was just talking about that. Let's go back here. Let's go to our... What model am I on right now? Oh, I need to go back to the Euro. Here's this system. Not a ton of snow in New Hampshire. But this right here could put good snow in New Hampshire here. This is what I was talking about. Monday into Tuesday, you get a big low pressure system. Inner New England. I'd include New Hampshire in this. Monday into Tuesday, you could get good snow in New Hampshire. This system probably won't put much down in New Hampshire. Expected amount in the southwest New Hampshire, maybe you get 2 to 4 inches of snow. When can we look at the models to and see? Oh, wait, Leanne, are you answering someone? Yeah. How do you determine central? If you looked at New Jersey, what would you consider central? The center of the state, right there, right? Is that not central? If you asked me about central Pennsylvania, what do you think I'd be looking at here? I'd say, like, I don't know. Central? You know? Here, right? Here's New Jersey. Something like this. Central New Jersey, I would say, is right in here, right? Southern New Jersey, central New Jersey, northern New Jersey. In North Jersey, you're looking at about 4 to 6. In North Jersey, we could see 8. Yeah, 8 plus if you guys get lucky with some banding. Yeah, definitely. I agree, Emmanuel. KJ, what's going on? Those of us from Central New Jersey know Central New Jersey trust. Yeah, I mean, like I'd consider Trenton in Central New Jersey. Trenton. I mean, I'm just looking at it from a state perspective, you know. I'd say if you're west of New York City and north, that's northern New Jersey. I'd say if you're south, well, not even that. I'd say if you're south of Somerville, you're getting towards Central Jersey. Maybe even farther south than that. Princeton and south. Somerville, I'd consider pretty, yeah. I mean, I'd consider Somerville up towards northern New Jersey. But, you know, the elevation goes up. Your elevation actually goes a little bit higher once you get north of Somerville. So sometimes they see a little bit more snow than you north of Somerville. So, what's New York City looking like for snow? Right now, downtown Manhattan, 7.5 inches is expected from the National Weather Service. High end, 9 plus. Wouldn't that be good for you guys? You guys have a little bit of a island heating effect, though, that can ruin some snow. Why do the models keep on shifting 20 miles north, 20 miles south? Because it's extremely hard to tell the exact temperature it's going to be at the 200 millibar, 400 millibar, 600 millibar, 800 millibar, 1000 millibar level of our atmosphere. And any little 1 degree temperature change shifts where the snow falls, north or south. You guys, predicting snow is much harder than predicting rain. And predicting ice is harder than predicting snow. Because for snow, you need to be freezing from the surface to the ceiling in the troposphere. For freezing rain, you can be freezing you can be above freezing the entire atmosphere and then freezing at the surface. Now it's freezing rain. Sleet, it's going to be basically freezing. It's going to be freezing all the way up the top of the atmosphere. Then it's going to warm up as it's about to hit the surface, and you get a mixture of sleet. It kind of warms up in the middle of the atmosphere. So it's weird things that these models have to look at. And every time they get a new slice of data every 6 hours, they update. And they're always going to, they're going to have to update because we get new information. It has to look at what the current conditions are, and it'll update its new forecast for what the current conditions are. If it thought it was going to be 35 degrees right now in the last model run and it's 36, it has to update the models. It has to update the snow forecast for that. Is this storm track going to change, or is this going to be a storm track? I mean, we're within 24 hours. It's gonna shift a little bit, but I mean, this is who's going to get snow. It's going to shift, but again, if you're on the southern portion of this or northern portion, a little shift, a few miles north and south, can make a big difference on your snow totals. But for our people in the middle, like if you're in here, guys, right? If you're like in this middle section, you're getting some good snow. If like, especially if you're in here, you're not avoiding it. The storm's not going to shift enough to not put snow in Long Island, New York City, Hudson Valley, upstate New York. It's not going to shift enough at this point to not give you good snow. So. Let me see something real quick, guys. One second. Let me pull that off. There you go. These yellows. Here, let me move my face. My face is in the way, guys. So you can see what you see the little thing on the right side? Long Island amounts, you can see they expect it right here. 5 to 7 inches across Long Island. Snowfall estimates for New York City. National Weather Service thinks about 7.5 inches. On the high end, the National Weather Service thinks you guys could get 9 inches, if a foot if you're lucky. I don't know with the city warming there. I live in Plainfield, New Jersey. Think I could get 10 inches? Where's Plainfield? Plainfield, if you got 10 inches, I don't know. I think you'd be pretty lucky. It's not impossible. Not impossible. Yeah, I mean, if you get in a good snow band, it's possible. Not super likely. I can take a look at it. Hey, what's our odds of getting that? What's our odds of getting 8+ in Plainsfield? 10%. I'd say 10% chance of getting 10+ or 8+ in Plainsfield. Syracuse, New York, right now, expected totals 5 to 6 inches. Yep. Made stuffed chicken breasts wrapped in bacon. What was the chicken stuffed with? More meat? Is that meat stuffed with meat, wrapped in meat? Hell yeah. Bucks County, PA. Well, listen, Bucks County, PA is a big area. I mean, right now, Bucks County in general is looking like 2 to 4 inches. 2 to 4 inches. Depending on banding, you could see 2, you could see 4. I'd say 3 across. I'd say 3.5 inches across Bucks County is the most likely scenario. MJO update. There's almost nothing to talk about with the MJO because it's so unamplified still. You guys want to take a look at this? Look at this. And the issue with even though we're sitting in 781 potentially with the MJO, it not being amplified is just not a good time because you need I'd rather be in an amplified phase 4 where we're hot but we have the chance to get moisture for big snowstorms than to sitting here super unamplified. Like, look at this thing. You know what I mean? We're on the right side of the chart, right? This is freezing for the United States, this area. And we're on the right side of the chart here. We're not over here, but it's not amplified. And that helps with moisture. We're on the right side for cold air, not the right side for moisture. By the way, guys.
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
By the way, I made this. When did I post this? 48, a little over 48 hours ago. Oh, no, like 60 hours ago. And it's still, and if I look at this compared to the National Weather Service, I think I could end up doing pretty good on an early call. Look at that. 1 to 3. That looks good. 2 to 5. That's literally what it shows here. 2 to 5. 5 to 9. Look at this. 8, 5, 5 to 9. 4 to 7. Literally 4 to 7. I swear, this might be one of my best calls ever. I'm nervous about I'm nervous about Philly. I don't know if we're gonna get that much down here, but I really like this call still that I posted a couple days ago. I think we're still looking pretty good on it, so that's why I like using the national blend. How much snow for Westchester County? Wait, okay, where's Westchester County, New York, guys? If we're gonna talk counties, you guys just got to tell me what part of the state it's in, or else I can't answer your question if I don't know what you're talking about. Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts could get 2 to 6 inches of snow. Boston could struggle, half an inch. On the high end, they think Boston could get up to 4 inches, 5 inches of snow. Southeastern New York, okay, that does make sense because I kind of know where that county is. But so you're like Hudson Valley. Yeah, I mean, look at that. 7 to 9 inches is definitely possible there. Good snow. Good fluffy, cold, fluffy snow, not heavy, wet snow. Now, you're going to get 24 hours of warmth right after it. That could crunch up your snow a little bit, but then it gets cold again. I don't think it's going to ruin your snow. I think you got snow on the ground for New Year's Eve. I remember last week, we were tracking 53 degrees for New York City on Friday, but now we're going to have a snowstorm. Well, again, this has to do with the speed of storms, and that's why I always tell people, if a storm speeds up or slows down a little bit, it can really change your forecast. Look what happens right after the storm, okay? Right here. We're talking 18 hours after the storm, we're hot. High 40s, low 50s. Luckily for you guys out here, this heat moves through within 24 hours, and then we're cold again, so I don't think it's going to melt away all your snow. This is a quick transition through heat. But what we were probably looking at last week was this storm. We thought this ridging would just be a little bit quicker. It's hard to tell the speed of these things. So that's why a little bit, you get a storm slowing down one day to the next. It can change. So that's kind of what threw off my White Christmas forecast. I did it 2 weeks in advance, and systems didn't move, and oscillations didn't change at the speed that at least I projected, or a lot of people projected. Ice storm warning issued for Bradford, PA. Yep, we're going to have some ice issues. Definitely central to western PA. I don't think we're going to be as bad in eastern PA. Thoughts on future snow for central Maryland? Again, we have this collapse. You've missed every storm. I don't know. Have you missed every storm? Let's take a look. Central Maryland. Let's look at how much snowfall you guys have gotten. Let's go into Maryland. I don't think you've missed every storm. Look at Central Maryland. 3 to 4 inches. This year. Yeah, you need a little bit more, though. Listen, I like what these models are doing if for snow in the south and snow in the southern mid-Atlantic. I've been talking about this. Let's go back. United States. Let's take a look at this. At the end of our runs, our jet starts to pump a little bit south. You see this right here? Look at our jet driving south. This is that stratospheric polar vortex there finally moving in. Good opportunity for southern snow, Maryland snow as well. Then you get it dipping down again. Look how far south our jet gets. This is good opportunity for southern snow, southern mid-Atlantic snow again. January doesn't look too bad. I don't see a major snowstorm at the beginning of January really right now, but I love what that does for Minnesota, by the way. But Maryland, chances for snow in Maryland are looking okay. Are looking okay in January to get some good snow still. Thanks, P. And let's see. One second, guys. What is the Canadian? The Canadian, I don't really pay it to you too much. Do you want to know what the Canadian model says, guys, for this storm? Sure. Here's the Canadian model over the next little bit. By the way, here's what the Canadian model thinks for this snowstorm in the mid-Atlantic. Let me know if you guys like this. Can you guys hear my wife singing? Is it possible 10 inches in New York City? It's possible. That would be super high end. Yeah, it's possible you get that much. New York City, though, typically the areas around New York City get more snow than New York City because you have a little bit. It's usually a little bit warmer in New York City because of all the buildings and cars. How much snow for Newark, New Jersey? I could see you guys getting 6 to 8 inches. Any big snow for Maryland, like 5 to 10 inches? Again, early January, there's some good opportunities for Maryland. So, I mean, if it's over, it's over a week out. I can't. It's impossible to tell you. But we have a negative NAO set up and a negative AO Arctic oscillation. That means cold air out east and potentially some snow storm tracks out east. By the way, the Canadian puts like 8 inches into Minneapolis Sunday and Monday. We'll see. I would love for the Canadian to be right for me, but yeah, the GFS gives you some opportunities for snow in Maryland, southeast as well, south as well. Moving forward here into January. Yep, Long Island's gonna have a big winter. I think so. Minneapolis this weekend. So it's interesting. I've been continuously talking about how right here, Barrett Clinic boundary, Barrett Clinic zone, you can get snow here. The models continue to not show snow. Suddenly the GFS thinks a little bit of snow right there. A little bit of snow right there. Let me actually rewind this a little bit. A little bit of snow right there in Minneapolis. Look at this. This would be decent snow Sunday and Monday into Milwaukee, Green Bay, Chicago, and then over into Michigan, potentially Ohio. Look at the latest Euro. Look what the Euro does here for Minneapolis. Drops about 4 inches into Minneapolis, and then some pretty good snow on the back end here into Wisconsin. Maybe a little bit in Chicago. And then again, Michigan gets some good snow from this on the European as well. So Europeans also signaling out some of this snow potentially here for New Year's Eve. Is there absolutely any sign of snow in North Carolina and Virginia? Well, you like what the models are showing for the end of the first week into the second week of January. I've been talking about this continuously. Our polar jet starts to really drive south. Here it is. End of the first week of January. And we've consistently seen this. Very far south, polar jet. You can get snow out through this region when your jet goes south like this. So that would be a good sign. That is a sign for you guys in the Carolinas and Virginia for better potential than you've had. NTX, Erica, I appreciate you. Aspen, Ray. What's going on, guys? I hope when I wake up, all the snow didn't shift north. I don't know where you are, but I hope for you too. This also is a great sign for a potential nor'easter, but we'll see. That'd be a second week of January. Snow amount for Middleton, Kentucky, in northern Middlesex County. I don't know. Or Connecticut. Yeah, none of that helped me because I don't know counties in Connecticut. But I'm just gonna okay. You could have just said northwestern, southwestern, northeastern. All right, let's look this up. I actually do like some of these. Like I get asked about Middletown a lot, Connecticut, but I just can't remember where everything is. All right, South Central, Central Connecticut. Yeah, you guys could get some good snow here. 3 to 5 inches right now. Expect it. High end, you guys could end up with 8 to 9 inches. That's quite a big difference. If you guys end up with the high end in Middleton. That's quite the difference if you guys end up with the high end there. So it could be a really good day. Could be a really good day. Will Wisconsin get a lot of snow towards the Madison area? I don't see a ton of snow for the Madison area anytime soon. Very interesting. I just realized that they're putting high-end snow in the Minnesota right now. The next 72 hours. Interesting. It's not making it all the way out to Wisconsin and Michigan yet, but it will tomorrow. Boone, North Carolina, not a ton of snow in the short range, but I'd say end of the first week into the second week again of January, you guys could get some good snow. Lucas, I appreciate you. Mods, I appreciate you for being in here. What about the northward tick for New York City? New York City's been looking like 6 to 9 inches for quite a while now. I'd say 5 to 8 inches. Nick YT. I still want to call you Nicky T. Models have trended north. Not good for me as I'm in southern New York City. Oh, no, you're fine. No. The trend north hasn't affected New York City at all. Hasn't affected New York City at all. No, I actually think if you're going to get high ends, you might want to be closer to the center of the low pressure in here. So I actually think New York City's fine. I don't see any of these trends that have affected New York City. Not worried. Doesn't matter where you are in New York City. I think you're fine. Let's go back to the Mid-Atlantic here. HRRR. Or any... Hey, guys, you want to have some fun and look at what the craziest model is showing for some of these areas? Let's look at what the most bullish model is showing for some of these areas. I bet you it's still the GFS. Wow, look at the HRRR for New York City. 10.5 inches. Holy smokes. A foot for Western Long Island. On the HRRR. That's a good model, guys. This is a pretty decent... This is what we consider our best short-range model. HRRR. Does anyone know what HRRR stands for? I know we got some weather nerds in here that do. I know we got some weather nerds in here who know what HRRR stands for. Come on. Who knows? High resolution rapid refresh. Heck yeah, NTX. High resolution rapid refresh. It is a high resolution 3-kilometer model that is, they call it rapid refresh because it refreshes itself every hour to account for time and fresh satellite data changes. So, but that shows a ton of snow. That is crazy for New York City. Let's just take a look at the north. Let's take a look at some models here. I'll get back to talking about the rest of the country. Give me 1 second. NAM. Again, the NAM always shows north. Not too concerned with the NAM's. Like, yeah, I mean, the NAM thinks you can almost miss out on snow in New York City. Don't buy this for a second, guys. Do not buy this for a second. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. If this happens, I'll apologize for all the harsh words I've ever said about the NAM. I don't buy that for a second. Let's look at our Canadian. Canadian puts about 6 to 8 inches, Long Island, New York City. But again, the Canadian, don't buy this. I don't buy this for a second. I don't think we have a sharp cutoff. I don't think Bucks County ends up with no snow. Don't buy it for a second. Let's see. Let's go to our... Let's go here. Let's go to Spire. Spire likes... I mean, yeah. Spire like 7 to 10 inches in New York City, Long Island. What's our European AIC? European AI is 5 to 6 inches in that area. This doesn't get very high definition, though, on the European AI. Look at all the snow the European AI, though, sees over the next couple weeks. Getting down a little bit into the south. Good. A lot of snow in this region for you guys. Or decent chances here. What if I want to buy it, though? I have money this time. Don't buy it. The NAM model, and if you've been watching me at all this year, the NAM has to be one of the worst models. The NAM, I don't know. It is always like 100 miles too far to the north or 100 miles too far to the south until you get within 12 hours of the system, and then it corrects itself. The NAM is just so bad at seeing... I don't even know how to describe it, guys. Here's what we'll do. After the snow moves through, we'll go back and we'll look at the NAM. And if we end up getting 0 snow south of this line, I mean, dusting, I'm not counting that. It's a 0.1. If we end up getting 0 snow south of this line, or we end up getting only 2.5 inches into New York City, I'll apologize. You want to know what the National Blend thinks? When you average every single model available together, 7 inches in New York City. The NAM thinks 2. I don't know, guys. You want to know what the National Weather Service thinks?
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Oh shit, what's that for? You want to know what You want to know what the National Weather Service thinks? 7 inches into New York City. The NAM thinks 2. I don't know, guys. I'm not buying it. Here's my question. What is the NAM sounding seeing? You know what? Let's figure out why the NAM is wrong right now. And then I'll move on from this, I promise. Can I look at a sounding on the NAM? Yeah, let's look at a sounding on the NAM. New York. Let's go to Manhattan downtown. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. This is all snow. We're snowing. Friday. We're snowing. This is no sleet. Oh, you guys can't see this. We're snowing. This is no sleet. This is no mix. We're snowing. We're snowing. We're snowing. All snow. All below freezing. We're still 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 below freezing. I mean, this is... Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Almost 9 hours of snow. No sleet, no ice. And the NAM says, after it snows for 9 hours straight, you're going to end up with 2 inches of snow in New York City. You guys buying that? Let me know. You guys think that's true? The NAM doesn't even agree with itself. This is a sounding from the NAM. The NAM doesn't even agree with itself. Yeah. So you want to know why I look at the NAM? Also, I hate to say it, but our American models and North American models are trash. HRRR model's okay, but nah. Yeah, the NAM is weird. Now, if you looked at the NAM model just 6 hours before every storm, it always gets it perfect. But what model doesn't get it perfect? That's like me going outside when it's snowing and be like, there's a 100% chance it's snowing right now. Like, great, the NAM gets it right when it's already there. Lower bucks, 2 to 3 inches, I think is possible. Commanders, I appreciate you. It's always possible for the amount to increase. Yeah. Which model is better for snow in short range? HRRR. I still sometimes use the Euro even within 24 hours. I sometimes still use the Euro. The national blend is the safest way to go though. NBM. Holy crap. Mark with a galaxy. Thank you. That'll make up a little bit for all the money I drained out of my account for my kids. I mean, Santa, actually. I didn't have to pay that much. Santa got most of the presents. New York City, yeah. 6 to 9 inches, somewhere in there. You guys are going to have good snow. You guys are going to have good snow in New York City tomorrow night into Saturday. Well, okay. No, guys. Let's not get crazy. She said you want to line them. Philly suburbs for the snow. It's going to be tough. There's a chance Philly ends up with like an inch or less. There is. High end 3 inches. You guys are on the cutoff. I've been talking about this. You guys are right on the cutoff. Models see about 3 to 4 hours of pure snow in Philly, starting as snow into ice, go back into snow, into sleet and winter mix. How long is that pure snow falling? That's what we have to know. That's what we have to figure out. Philly is right in the winter battleground zone with this storm. What are my projected totals for Central Long Island? I'll point back to what I posted 2 days ago. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed one bit. 5 to 9 inches. I probably would change this now to 6 to 9 inches. I think most of Long Island ends up with more than 5 inches of snow. I'd change this to 6 to 9 inches. 6 to 9. What are the projected total? Yeah. I'd change that to 6 to 9 inches. Northeast Jersey get a foot? Yes. Northeast New Jersey could end up with a foot of snow. Look, meteorologists agreed with me. I like that a lot. I think this dude's a meteorologist. Senior meteorologist, Fox Orlando. All right. Oh, I'd love that amount here in southern West Virginia again. Again, look what happens when we go forward, guys. Our jet starts to collapse. Look at the GFS here. This is good for you guys in the south. Look at this. Boom. Look at this jet collapsing. Holy smokes. You get a subtropical jet to turn on with all of this cold air down here. And this could all end up, we could end up with snow down here. So, Sullivan County, New Jersey. Not sure where that is. New York. Yeah, I know. Nick, I always realize like 4 seconds after. I'm like, ah, crap. I got to get something better for my screens. Here's what's going on. I've got you guys here, right? Here's my OBS. Here's chat. Right? Wait. There's chat. Say hi to yourself, chat. Say hi to your future self. Let's see how much lag there is. How much lag is there, guys? Tell me how much lag there is. Hi, self. You guys are talking to yourself 3 seconds in the future. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. But anyway, so there's chat. Here's my main screen. But then here's my other screen over here. And I forget which screen I'm looking at sometimes. Or which screen I'm on. Listen, I can barely walk and chew gum. Ask my wife. This is very difficult for me, and I've just gotten better at it over time. It's hard for me to walk and breathe at the same time. My ADHD could never. Yeah. Luckily, I have help for that. All right. I saw a severe thunderstorm warning issue for California. Oh, yeah. I meant to actually go back to that. We can double check on where that is. It's in the same area, Monterey. Pacific Grove, Monterey, Sand City. Carmel, by the sea. It's saying tour possible. What? Oh, God, I got to go into radar. It's saying tour possible. I don't see rotation in here, but just be careful. It's possible, obviously. But I think our wins. Let's take a look at our wins here. Why is this in miles per hour? And why is this in... This should be in miles per hour. Give me a second. Hello? I'm not European. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, wait. Let me go back to the screen. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Map settings. Yeah. Can we not do... Yeah. Can we go back towards normal? Oh, that's so annoying. Why did this change? Why did this change on me? Settings. Wait, why did it change? Why the heck? Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Yeah, no. Miles per hour. Thank you. This is America. All right. Look at this. 60 mile per hour winds. 62 miles per hour. We're gusting. This is likely mainly for strong winds moving into the coast right here. So, and heavy downpours. Yeah, 60 to 70. You guys could get hurricane force gusts out there easily. Hurricane force gusts. This is America. I want to see miles per hour, not meters per second. We fought a whole war just so we could say miles per hour, right, guys? We fought a whole war just so we could use inches instead of centimeters. That's the entire reason we left England. The entire reason. Something like that. All right. Snow for Boise. Look at that. Maybe a little bit of low elevation snow for Boise this weekend, Saturday into Sunday. Could get a little low elevation snow there in the Boise, yeah. Could do it. Idaho. It's going to be a little bit warm on the front end, but then cold air comes in behind here. Could be a little snow. Could be a little snow there for the low elevation. Breckenridge, Colorado. Listen, mountain snow is impossible to tell, but this is going to be good mountain snow right here, okay? Saturday, Sunday, some good mountain snow for Colorado. For sure. There might be a sketchy spout in the water off the coast of California. This could be a water spout right there. Yeah, look at these. This right here. Right? There's a little bit of rotation in this and these out here. There's a little bit of rotation in here. I don't see any on land, really. This isn't too bad. I think we're fine. Yes, the Vikings did win. Well, it's not about the Vikings winning. It's about knocking the Lions out of the playoffs. Yeah. They changed that to... Yeah, Mark, I appreciate that again. They changed that to... Just to win, not a tornado warning or anything out there in California. When's Nebraska going to see snow? Some opportunities here in western Nebraska in the short range Saturday into Sunday. Not a ton of snow. You do get a better opportunity here. You can see as we get into the 4th, 5th. Some more snow chances out there towards the end of the first week and into the second week of January. You get some snow chances out in Nebraska. I think February. I think January is going to be pretty cold for the East. I'm concerned about precipitation in January. I've been saying it for a while. I almost am looking past January into February because I think February is going to be super, 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 super moist, since everyone likes that word for everyone. But with cold air, there's always a chance for snow. So, how do you feel about Allentown, PA getting snow Friday night into Saturday? I feel like this. Wait. Allentown, latest from the National Weather Service, 3 inches on the high end, maybe 5 or 6 inches. What would snow totals be for southwestern Long Island? You guys could see 8+ inches of snow if you're lucky. You could have a good day. Guys, I'm going to get off, spend a little bit more time with my kids before they go to bed and the family. I appreciate you all. I have a video on all this stuff, by the way, I put out. It's on my YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram. I have the reels on there, but full videos on my YouTube where I actually do go over snow totals. And I go over the medium to long range outlook going into January for snow for everyone and storms and all that type of stuff. So if you want to kind of, if I didn't answer your question, maybe my video answers your question. Mods, I appreciate you. Appreciate anyone who followed, who subbed, who gifted, who just engaged in my chat. Even just being in here talking helps the algorithm. I appreciate you guys. I'm hoping to do this full time before the end of 2026. This helps. I'm going to try to stream, post tomorrow as well. Because, and maybe actually cover the snowstorm as it's moving through Mid-Atlantic, New England tomorrow. Everyone have a great night. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's if I don't see you again before then. But I will be streaming and I will be posting more before then. Believe me, including tomorrow. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Seriously. See you guys.